kill you. All right. You good?
Clearly you aren't, though.
Okay. How you doing? I'm Pat Society. I'm here with Steve Soto from the Adolescents. We're going to interview him for the Punk Lounge. So anyway, give us a brief background of the Adolescents.
Adolescents, we started in 1980. We, Tony and I had met. I used to play in Agent Orange, and we met at an Agent Orange show, and decided to start a band together. And here we are all these years later, traveling all over, still doing it. And yeah, we would have never thought when we started that band in the garage of his mom's house that we would still be doing it now.
So since you mentioned it, you were in Social Distortion.
No, Agent Orange.
Agent Orange. Okay, stop that.
I can just edit it,
Alright,
Pat. It's
so-
fine.
Social Distortion.
Well, here's the deal. Social Distortion, Agent Orange, and the Adolescents, we all came from the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
We all grew up within, a few blocks from each other. All our bands kind of, Social Distortion actually started first, and then we kind of started a little bit after that, but the original Social D Mike wasn't singing, he was playing guitar.
Mm-hmm.
There was a few versions, and at one point, first time I saw him, Casey Royer, who ended up in the Adolescents, was playing drums, Rick Agnew was playing bass, and then Mike played guitar, and they had a singer named Tom Corbin. That was a long time ago. That was 79. I played in Agent Orange. We started like 78, 79. And that was me and Mike Palm and Scott Miller at the time. And a guy named Carlos Isais was in the band too when we first started. And that's when we all kind of met. And there was a lot of people jumping around back and forth from different bands. And Frank Agnew played in a version of Social Distortion that Mike wasn't in. Mike quit at one point, and then they got a different singer. I think Casey might have sang for a while. Yeah, it was all kind of convoluted and incestuous. But when it came time to making like our first records, I guess, Mike was the singer of SD with Dennis and Chris Reese and I guess John Maurer. Or no, it was Brett Lyles and Derek.
Mm-hmm.
That was first.
Now, did you play on any? You did play on a couple songs, right? For Agent Orange?
I played on Agent Orange. I played on Bloodstains.
Which is the
got in there in
knows.
time for that one. Yeah, and El Dorado, More to You, Breakdown.
So that's like the Pitch in Summer.
Yeah,
12-inch.
but there's I think that the versions I was on came later. They were on the Living in Darkness bonus tracks.
Oh, okay.
Because we did all demo stuff with this. Yeah, I think they re-recorded the Bitch in Summer stuff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that's like I said, everyone kind of was like in and out of each other's bands a little bit back then. And but the Adolescents, Tony and I started the band with a different lineup. And Frank Agnew was in the first one, and then at some point Rick and Casey came in.
Now, at one point, didn't you have Frank's son playing?
That was later. That was in 2004.
How long did he stay with the band?
He was in the band for like 2 years. And then
Like I did see you at the church in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, that was very nice.
It's kind of almost like Jerry Only's kid playing with Jerry Only. I don't know. I think it's.
Well, then we had that other kid, Joe Harrison, playing with us for a long time. And me and Tony used to just tell people randomly, "Oh, that's my son," or "That's my." But not he wasn't any of our kids, but he was young enough to be. But Frank Jr. actually did. Yeah, he did a couple tours with us and played for a while.
Okay. So let's talk about the Blue album, the Adolescents album. It's regarded as a classic, right? It's Black Flag Damage. It's like comparable to something like that. Social Distortion, Mom's Little Monster. I mean, it's an American icon for punk rock in the United States. Like, do you get tired of playing this song?
No. Some of the stuff, like it's weird. Like sometimes when we're playing Creatures, the irony to me is just like I don't feel like this at all anymore. When we first started playing it, I did. You know what I mean? Like, so some of that, but you know what? Like I love all those songs, and I still enjoy playing them. I love playing Kids of the Black Hole. It's like I can remember the day that Rick showed me that song in my head. Like I remember sitting there going, "Whoa!" You know what I mean? It was different than anyone else that we knew in punk rock had done. So you know, like I love that record, and I don't burn out on that. There's not really like with our stuff. Like I don't know, songs are kind of like kids. You know what I mean? It's like you can't. Sometimes they might get on your nerves, but you're never going to stop loving them or whatever. But like all our songs, I love everything we've done. You know, if we could play, you know, Bruce Springsteen length sets, that would be awesome. But people don't have that attention span. You know what I mean? We would do it. We did it one night in Berlin. We played for 2.5 hours. We played every song that we all knew. You know, that lineup knew.
Does it ever get old of like saying like I don't even want to go out and play that stuff? I want to play like something new. Fuck the kids. I don't care.
Well, no. I mean, I would hope that fans of our band would want to hear the new stuff too. I understand. Like when I go see a band, I want to hear the records that I know the best. I get that. You know, we mix it up. You know what I mean? There'll be tonight. We'll play 4 songs at least off the new record. And stuff off the last few records, and plenty of stuff off the first record.
Because I've been going to shows since the mid '80s, and I bought that. I bought the Blue Album cassette in like, I want to say '87 or something when I was younger. I love those songs. I'm sick of them. I like hearing new music, and I like when bands put out new music and they play it. But I also understand the fact that somebody that might have listened to the Adolescents for 20 years, maybe never seen you before, and they only want to hear that record because it's what they know.
That's exactly it, and there's so much goes into that because, like, when you're putting the set list together for that night, you don't know who's going to be there and what they want to see. Do you know what I'm saying? And like for us, you know, like we like playing the new songs just because we just wrote them this last year, so they're fresh to us. And it's like, yeah. But you know, I get that you know, it's the same thing. Like someone that's maybe they've never seen the band before, and they want to hear who is who, or they want to, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, you just don't. One time we played a show in Scotland, and after the show, a guy came up to me, and we did a record in the late '80s without Tony. It's called Balboa Fun Zone.
Great record.
Well, thank you. I like some of it, but that one
Actually, Elijah's a big fan of it too. But
So this guy comes up to me after the show, and we don't play anything off of it.
I know.
And this guy comes up to me after the show, and he goes, I was really bummed that you guys didn't play anything off Balboa Fun Zone. And he goes, that's the only record that I know of the Adolescents. So someone gave it to me, and he never, you know, went out. So I walked him over to the merch booth, and I go, here's a blue record. You might want to check this thing out. And here's a couple of our other records. I just gave them to him. Like, I'm sorry you didn't get to hear what you want.
But you know that comes to a point too where buying records, like when you were older or when you were younger, it's not like it is today. Today, people don't really always buy records. They stream stuff. They download a song.
Yeah.
You know, like when I think it was Triple X that was on, right?
Yeah.
Triple X?
Yeah.
So, like, if Triple X had really good distribution in Scotland, that might be why he got that record, you know?
Right.
And you might not think of it as your best record, or Tony might not like he's not on it, but, you know, somebody cling to it and they mold themselves around it, and, you know, they like it a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a weird. That's one of the hardest things I would say about doing all this is figuring out every night. All right, what are we going to play tonight? You know. And last summer on the Warped Tour, we played a different set every day. That was 7 weeks, and we would start coming up with themes. Let's take all the shortest songs we had. And so, you have a 25-song set list, but they're all like minute 20. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then the next day we took all the longer songs we had. Kiss of Black Hole's 5 minutes plus. And so then we did like, but it's just trying to figure out how to keep it interesting for us and make it cool for bands. Some bands do send us in, set list. One song we don't play, I Hate Children, and people get bummed out. And it's, I understand, it's like the first song on the Blue Album. To me and Tony wrote that song on the telephone. We were laughing, it was like a joke. Because he was watching his kids. Tony had pretty much, his mom, he was a single parent household, so his mom went to work and he watched his little brothers and sisters. And we wrote that laughing while he was watching his brothers and sisters, But now, like I'm the only one in the band that's never had kids, that doesn't have kids, but they all have kids, and and people don't get it sometimes, and so we just kind of, and musically, it's so boring to play, just like, it's a drag. So that would be like the one song that we generally just don't play. But I also understand sometimes that people are bummed that we don't play it. And for that, I'm sorry.
Well, when you guys came back around, I guess it would have been early 2000s when you did OC Confidential, right? You had a long time of not playing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there any? Did you guys have other bands going on? Or
yeah, everyone was kind of doing.
There was a band called the Ads.
ADZ, yeah, that was Tony. That originally was Tony, Rick, and Casey, and Frank and I were just. Frank was. I don't know what Frank was doing. I never know what Frank's doing. But I was playing in a band called Joyride, and just kind of doing my own thing. And at the time we played like one show, and then with the original lineup, and then those guys wanted to keep playing, so they did ADZ. And at some point when we started playing again in 2001, I think Tony did ADZ up till like 2003 or something.
Yeah, they did. I had 3 CDs, so.
Yeah. And they're cool records. Like he was a great band. After Rick and Casey left, he got like Bruce Duff, and he was a great bass player. And he had different. At one point, Mark Arnold from Big Drill Car was in it and stuff.
Oh, they're a great band.
Yeah, it was a great guys playing with him. So, but then at some point we started getting busy enough with the Adolescents that took up, like time. See, Tony's a school teacher, so when school's in, there's not a lot. We kind of whatever holes he has, we try to fill them up with music with what we're doing, and so.
But that was like a really great comeback record. I mean, I remember when I bought it when you guys played at the church in West Philly, and before I even bought it, like I heard Hawks and Bugs, and tell me for the other songs.
Pat, this is going to overheat in a second.
Okay, so you have a new record out. It's coming out. What date?
July 20-something.
And it's called Crop Duster. And it features Donald Trump.
Crop dusting a crowd of people on the cover.
I like it. So you tell us a little bit about it? Or?
Well, it's funny, like, because of the way everything's kind of going in our country, obviously a lot of bands are putting out politically themed records or whatever. There's 4 or 5 songs that definitely deal with that, but there's a mix of other stuff too. When we first started writing the songs for this, and at first Tony came in and there wasn't anything on Trump, and I go, man, I thought you were going to throw down like the whole, and he goes, well, I don't think people want to hear me scream about him for a whole record, but I'll get to him, don't worry about it. And the ones that did are great. There's a song called Just Because that is just, in fact, we'll play that tonight. But there's a lot of great, so there's a song he wrote about Sarah Huckabee called Queen of Denial. Really cool. I mean, Tony, he always comes correct lyrically. It's great. People ask us about the process of making records, and for us, we don't know what the vocals are going to be before we go in the studio. Like we have the music kind of, like nailed down, but then he comes in and puts the vocals down. And I co-produce like the records with Paul, so I'm there from day one till it's over. So, but that's like my favorite part is hearing what he's gonna do.
So it's like a surprise.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sitting there, and he's tracking, and he's singing these lyrics, and then, you know, we'll stop and we'll go to do another take or something, and I'll go, like, did you just say blah, blah, blah? And he's like, yeah, and I'm all, that's beautiful. You know, and he's never, there hasn't come a time yet in 6 records that we've done like this where I'm like, dude, I don't know about that line. Everything is always, you know, he always, it's a huge smile on my face when I'm hearing it, because it's like, oh, that's cool, you know. He has these little twists that, you know, when you catch it, then maybe the first time through you don't hear it, and then you're like, did you just say, but give this? And, yeah, you know, it's great. But so yeah, that's, you know, that's kind of how we do it. And like I said, that's one of my favorite parts about playing in the band with him. You know, it's very,
And I'm adding his.
yeah, his lyrics.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to do this, and you know, we look forward to hearing the new record when it comes out. Sure.
We'll have him at Rebellion.
Okay.
How do you bring? Yeah, you must come home from Rebellion with like 1 billion things. Do you ship that stuff home, or what do you do?
No, I take it. I'm like a mule. I put it in. I buy if you go to Sports Direct, you can buy.
Pat, say bye-bye Punk Lounge.
Right. So anyway.
And then you can talk.
So anyway, I want to thank Steve here from the Adolescents for doing this interview for the Punk Lounge. And I'm Pat Society, Steve Soto, Adolescents.
Goodbye. When we see you.